Hello! So today I'm actually going to be doing a review of someone else's chair for a change. Yes, that's not me with those funky bags. It's the Livewell Instafold Mark II. So the Livewell Instafold's a really popular chair that started off at about £800. It eventually marked its way up into the just over the 1,000 mark, and then they decided they were going to change model. That doesn't really actually mean they've changed model. It probably just means that they decided to buy off a different Chinese manufacturer, as most of these chairs are actually just a purchase of from some sort of large Chinese manufacturer for which they get the marketing rights in that particular country, and then they mark it up as a Livewell product. The main difference with this Livewell chair Mark II is that it has front suspension, so that gives you the benefits of front suspension and the usual back suspension. You've also got a nice rear pocket, a little bit of adjustability on the seat, but not a lot. You can actually get quite a fat person in it, so I'm talking about myself there really, particularly, although I should actually use the word rotund these days. Yes, you can see that the wheels are quite substantial at the back, and although the casters are small, they are actually quite grooved, which does make a big difference. So let's introduce you to our model, who is Iwa. Iwa is going to be modelling this chair for us, and we're going to take it where we always take it. We've been around the houses, but we're going to have a look at what it looks like when it tries to be used off-road. So Eva's very cleverly made sure that she's all masked up and ready to go on a journey. So let's just see what this can do. So it's moving off on very long and fairly damp grass, and as you can see, it's doing it quite well, and it just went over a stick. And then the next thing we're going to see is that, yes, the wheels did lift off as she was about to enter into the wood entrance, but nevertheless the chair managed to sustain that and continue. So we're on quite a sort of, this usual floor where I often review things, which is fairly bumpy ground. It's nothing too exciting, but it is like the kind of country walk you might like to take your grandmother on. So here we are with this young chick, Iwa, who's modelling the wheelchair for us today. She's really enjoying this chair because Iwa doesn't need to use the chair full time. She has EDS, so she can actually walk. So she's someone who is an ambulant wheelchair user, which is something which is becoming more and more common to see these days. We just see that Iwa just dealt with quite a nice slope in the ground there. That potentially has the ability to pull. The camber of that has the potential to pull you to one side. What I will say about using any rear-wheel drive chair, and particularly some of the Chinese make models, even if they do have fancy labels on them, but any of these kind of fold-up chairs, is that you need to remember that it's partly the chair, but it's also partly learning how to have the skills to drive the chair. Okay, so yes, these chairs don't have a massive off-road capability, but at the same time, if you learn to drive into the camber, drive away from the camber, and you learn to control the chair well, you'd be surprised what you can achieve. Okay, so I've given you a few of the features of the chair. I like the fact as well that it has wheel covers. If you can just stop for a second. I like the fact that it has wheel covers. I like the fact that it's got those grooved casters, which probably helped her to be able to do a little off-road. It's got the usual cushioning. Of course, it's not recline. Some of the Chinese make models, such as the people who sell chairs under the label Better Products for Disabled People, they do some chairs where they have some folding backrests and headrests. In fact, I've seen some incredible models this year, and I was really tempted to get a bank loan out actually and sell some of the wonderful models that have just come out on the Chinese market recently, because they are just literally groundbreaking. You can also have these anti-tippers pulled out better further, so that if you feel a little bit unstable, you've got a little bit of manoeuvrability. If Iwa doesn't mind getting out of the chair, would you like to show us how easy it is to fold the chair, Iwa? So again, it's just saying Iwa has EDS, so folding a chair would be quite a challenge to somebody with a condition like that, because it would put a strain on their joints and their muscles. So if it's going to be a foldable chair, it really does need to be incredibly easy. I would say that these chairs are not exceptionally light, but there you go. It literally does fold like a pram, and then if you want to tip it onto its back anti-tippers, and then it just whacks up onto its back anti-tippers. shoulders, and Ewa doesn't have particular strength in her arms, so that really does illustrate just how easy this chair is to use, especially if you don't have an adapted car and you do really want to be able to do things quickly. Another couple of features that I will mention is you can pull this battery pack off. It's got a little handle, so you can pull that inside and charge it inside. And another thing is you do have your USB charger there, which a lot of modern foldable chairs have now. It's a really, really important feature, I think, for a number of people. So I hope you enjoyed that review.